What's the worry?
Well, that I don't have enough time left to...
No, here, let me just say, if we keep worrying about this, it belies, we keep going back to the fact that we believe if we do not, as personality, if we do not do something, nothing is going to happen.
I gotta do it, right?
Yeah, that's right, that's right. And so, but if we allow the idea to seep in that really, in Bartholomew's words, we're being done, whatever that means to you, that we're being done every moment. You know, trust the process. Remember, Bart? Trust the process. What does that mean? Look, you are going to do what you're going to do. You're going to struggle. You're going to seek. You're going to not seek. You're going to get mad. You're going to get all number of things. All these things are going to happen. And I ask the question, do you really have any control over that? Or does it just arise that you find yourself seeking? You just find yourself, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Then that's it. I'm not done yet. Let's go. Let's go. Keep going. And then we have these other people who say, no, don't keep going. Stop. Well, if somebody tells you to stop something, can you stop it? Well, I think I'll just stop. I'll just stop seeking. Well, that isn't the way it happens. So here we have to ask ourselves, and this is the question, do we believe on any possible level that there is a divine something, or don't call it divine if you don't like the word, that there is a power that moves the planets and the galaxies and our bodies and our minds and our actions? Do we believe that there is something like that that moves this whole thing forward? Do we? All right. If that is, this is something to examine. This is not something to just, it's examine inside, quietly. Do I believe that there is such a power? If you find that the answer is yes, undescribable, you don't know how it happened or how it is or what it's like, but just this indescribable knowing that there is something. You wouldn't be seeking if you didn't know there was something to find. You just wouldn't. You wouldn't. So it's that spontaneous thing that arises and makes you cry and makes you sad and then makes you glad. I think the spiritual path is one of the most difficult paths there is. I think it's harder than trying to be a millionaire or a star in the New York Ballet. I think it's difficult because you're going for something you cannot see. And then you go to all the great ones and they say, well, no, you can't know what it is. It just is. And you shake them and you say, what do you mean? And they'll say, no, it just is. It just is. It just is. You can't see it, you can't know it in the sense of thought, but you can know it in the sense of being it. And so, quite frankly, I think that spiritual seekers are very courageous. And I believe this, you're laughing?
Yeah, after you pass insanity.
After you pass insanity. That's right. That could be true. But again, to go back, if you believe there's a power that knows the way, then there is that magic relaxation into the possible thought of, oh my goodness, do you suppose the power that knows the way is doing this? Is it possible that the power that knows the way has been doing all of my life? And the more you question, do you believe that there is a power that moves? We assume these things, but to know that inside of you only comes if you sit and ask the question. You have to ask the question. unless you're one of the blessed ones like Saul, Paul, who gets knocked off his horse and, all that wonderful story. I don't know if you want to be Saul or Paul, but you can be whatever is going to happen. Something is always happening. You notice it, you feel it, you become aware of it, and when you start just being aware of the movements instead of the story, when you become, do you know what I mean by the movements? I mean literally the movements of your hands, the movements of your feet, the movements of your heart, the movements of your cell phone, the movements of whatever. If you just watch the movements, people keep saying, I don't know how to do this. Watch the movements. As you're sitting there quietly, watch the movements. What's going on? Just pay attention to the movements without the story about what it means. Just watch. Pay attention as you walk. Walking meditation is life. You can call it Vipassana, but it's life, As you're walking across the kitchen, Vipassana. As you're walking up the stairs, Vipassana. It's not like I'm watching it's more fun than that. Vipassana is really hard. It's fun, but it's hard. But just paying attention to your feet as you walk up the stairs, that's the kind of thing that they're talking about. That. How does it feel to your feet to walk up the stairs? How does it feel to breathe? How does it feel to have sound come through your voice? How does it feel to see? How does it feel to hear? Pay attention. That's the simplicity of this. Not some great goddess on the top of the world speaking to you, but, your feet. Your feet. All the simplicity. That's it. And the more, in Bartholomew's words, the more you stay home, you know what he meant by that, the more you stay inside, pay attention from here rather than from out there. Because if you're paying attention out there, I'm going, I wonder what Cheetah's thinking about me. I wonder, where am I? I'm over there playing in Cheetah's mind, trying to figure out what Cheetah's thinking. Well, it's none of my business, first of all. And second of all, it's a waste of my time. But to reverse that process and to be back within this body and to be aware that I am seeing and tasting and feeling and thinking and doing the whole process, then that becomes exciting. The very thing that we think is boring ends up being really exciting, which is what? Living our life. Living our life, breathing our breath, eating our lunch, having a fight, whatever we're doing. But we're not with it. We're not with it, inside of it. We're outside of it, thinking about it, assessing it, analyzing it. But forgetting all of that, just what does it feel like inside of you? Just stick with the simplicity of this thing. And that's when the magnificent consciousness begins to be felt.